Things first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to the WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Glad to be here with you all on this fine Monday. Thank you so much to our sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. In my studio today is Gwen Podesky with the University of Illinois Extension Master Gardeners. How are you today, Ms. Podesky?
I'm just fine.
Thanks so much for being here with us today. You brought in a little guest with you.
I did.
For the live stream viewers, it'll be tough for the radio listeners right now. But our live stream, you will be greeted with a very cool plant. Gwen Podesky, tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, this is a Schlumbergera. We can't decide quite how to pronounce it, but it's more commonly known as a Thanksgiving cactus. Now, folks, in the old days, those of us who can cast way back in our minds know that they used to all be called Christmas cactuses, or at least that's the way it was. And then these started coming out sometime probably in the 80s or 90s. And they're great for marketing because they're usually in full bloom right around Thanksgiving. Well, turns out Thanksgiving cactuses and Christmas cactuses are two different creatures. And this one is a Thanksgiving cactus. I bought it many years ago, and it had many years of being abused by its owner. I would put it outside, which I don't personally think is a good idea with these. I think these like it better in a bright spot in the house all year long. That's how I've kind of been recuperating him or her. But anyway, if you notice, the difference between a Christmas cactus and a Thanksgiving cactus is they really do really do bloom at Thanksgiving or Christmas specifically. This one has got flowers set, and she must know it's an early Thanksgiving, so we're going to have some blooms for Thanksgiving. The other big secret on these is the margins of the leaves on a Christmas cactus will be rather smooth, and they won't have noticeable points. On a Thanksgiving cactus, you'll see these little points. It's much more shield shaped. The others are kind of more longer and narrower. These are usually wide and shield shaped with these little tiny points. So that's kind of the basic difference, other than the fact that they bloom at different times of the year. Many Christmas cactuses are red. These more likely will come in this one is a very bright magenta when it blooms. You can see it's pretty pink already here. So it's a very, very bright pink, but a lot of the Christmas ones, and they do come in white too, I think. Christmas ones will come in a slightly different pink or a red or a white. So those are the differences. They also talk about an Easter cactus. Now, I've never seen one of those, and I do know that this one will occasionally, when the light in the spring, early spring or late winter gets approximately the same as it is now, it may throw out a bloom or two, a lot like you see azaleas will do that. If you have a good azalea display in the spring, then in the fall, you might have one or two pop up on your bush when the light is about the same in the sky, the sunlight, as it was in May. So anyway, but I just thought I'd bring him along and we'd talk a little bit about these. You'll see them in the produce sections and the box stores and other places. It's part of the holiday plant displays that people have. But this one is fun. It's a Thanksgiving cactus, and it will get new. It will start with new growth late winter. Wow. Late winter, you'll start to see new. Again, when the light starts to get, when the days get quite a bit longer, then it'll start with its new growth.
It is not your stereotypical cactus of any kind. If you're just listening on the radio, it is not tall and cylindrical.
No.
This is it's very flower-like.
No.
It's flowering up at the top, like you've been saying.
Right.
Very beautiful, and it knows the season it's in.
It's a succulent. It's called a cactus. It's actually my understanding is these grow in sort of forested areas in South and Central America, almost on rock crevices and things. They do not like a lot of water. You can really hurt them with a lot of water, and they do not like direct sunlight, especially outside direct sunlight. So it's usually better to keep them in the house, bright window, and let them go. This one typically lives in a kind of a northwest corner of a room that has it's almost all windows. So
It can be a pretty finicky plant, it seems. It can be kind of tough.
well, not really. Sometimes and the nice thing about them is you can kill them with kindness. It's best to just not water them much.
Leave them alone.
Yeah, they don't care about watering so much as you might think. If you start to notice that the leaves are seeming a little papery thin or something, you might want to give it a little drink of water, but they don't really take a lot of water.
Sure.
And
I was going to ask, would this be bad for a beginner style plant? Or
no, I think I think they're great for a beginner style plant. It's kind of like snake plants or sansevierias. People also call them mother-in-law's tongues. I'm a mother-in-law, so I resent that. But anyway, but those are also great beginner plants because the worst thing you can do is overwater them. They're much like, I was talking with somebody this week about they had gotten peace lilies from a father's funeral or mother's funeral. And again, those are ones you can kill with kindness. You can really overwater those. And with all of those and any of this that you might bring home, they are often sitting in plastic, not saucers really, but dishes almost. It's best to take these kinds of things out of those and set it on a saucer because that holds way too much moisture on most of these plants. So it's great to get it home, and it's great to not get dirt on the checkout counters, I suppose. But anyway.
A great tip right there. Replace that.
Take that thing off the bottom, and any foil, if they come in foil wrap, any kind of wrap around the pot. I know it's pretty, but take it off and set it in a saucer.
It's interesting. There's similarity with regular cacti. They don't like water. They don't need too much water to survive and thrive. And what are the differences or similarities between this? And you mentioned the Christmas cactus. Do they look kind of similar?
It's going to look almost exactly the same, like I said, except for these points. The points on the little shield-like leaves. The leaves are going to be longer and narrower than these. So they're going to be a kind of a slightly different shape, and they'll look more rounded.
Sure. Awesome.
But they will grow in the same. They're the same. I believe they're the same species or family. So
I love your passion for plants. I always can hear it in your voice. But today you mentioned it's maybe a him or a her. Do you refer to all of your plants in this way?
No, usually I just say, why the heck aren't you growing like you're supposed to? No, I don't know. I do talk to plants. It's just not. I don't know. I don't do it. It's kind of more unconscious. I'll look and, oh, you're pretty today or something like that.
They probably like hearing that, just
as
much as we do.
I hope so. Makes me feel better anyway.
Of course. That's all that matters. So that's really awesome. We're talking about this Thanksgiving cactus right now. If you're watching on the live stream, you can see it. You can already see the pretty flowers already kind of starting to bloom. You mentioned that it has its own time clock in there. It really knows when to bloom. And we're going to see it fully bloom right on Thanksgiving, it looks like.
I think so. I think it will be.
It is really awesome. Anything cool we need to know about the Thanksgiving cactus?
Like I said, just if you find it, bring one home and give it a try. If you got a bright window that you want something that you don't have to take a lot of care of and worry a whole lot about, this is a good option.
Totally. Yeah.
And the nice thing about them is if these break off, if you break off like this leaf, you could lay that in the soil or gently sort of nudge it into the soil and you'd have another plant.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're very easy to share. It's a very easy plant to share with friends.
Is this why you said keep it away from other plants? Because if that leaf falls into another potted plant, or
not really, but it will. But it will do that.
Okay.
I mean, but many of the succulents will do that. I have jade plant that's dropped several leaves that have, little jade plants living beside it and in other plant pots and things. So yeah, but it's always good. I always feel like too, it's good to kind of keep the houseplants like to be together for some degree because of the moisture of, kind of the ambient moisture of the room, which is important, but they also can share alike with diseases and pests. So sometimes it's good to, especially if you've got one that is a perennial problem. A lot of people have a lot of problems. I had anyway with Schefflera. Has a lot of scale problems, and there are some plants that just it seems like you bring things in with them. And so sometimes it's good to isolate those guys.
Interesting. All interesting and really good to know. We're sitting down right now with Gwen Podesky of the University of Illinois Extension Master Gardeners. We're going to take our short little break right here. When we come back, we'll talk about some events and programs on the way for the Master Gardeners. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Do not go anywhere. You are listening to the WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Hi, I'm Jeff Peabody with Country Financial with an opportunity for you to get reliable insurance and donate to a good cause. Let's talk about the types of coverage that you may need to protect you and your family, discuss the options, and see how our valuable discounts may save you money. And just for getting a no-cost, no-obligation quote, I'll make a $20 donation to the Taylor School District or your local school. Call me, Jeff Peabody, Country Financial at 217-824-2279.
No purchase necessary. Country Financial and its representatives are not affiliated with and do not endorse the products or services of any third-party provider. Limit one donation per household. This offer ends Thursday, August 1st of 2024 and does not apply to current Country Financial clients.
You are not called upon to make funeral arrangements very often. When you are, you want to turn to somebody you trust. This is Mike Masterson with Masterson Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Kincaid. Through the years, we have grown to know the people in our area. Our family has established a reputation for providing beautiful, dignified services. We have provided 3 generations of experience, compassion, and a long-lasting tradition of community service. Let our family serve your family. Masterson Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Kincaid.
Come together now. The Christian County YMCA is partnering with the Taylorville Food Pantry for November. Now through November 19th, if a new member joins the YMCA and fills a paper grocery bag full of food, they'll receive a free joining fee, a $50 value. New member will still pay first month's membership fee in November. If an existing YMCA member fills a paper grocery bag full of food, they'll receive 2 free family guest passes to use or share with family or friends this holiday season. The Y for youth development, healthy living for social responsibility.
Fall means being active to attend your favorite festivals and bonfires. Let Taylorville Care Center help you get back into doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Whether you've been in the hospital or just need a little extra help to get back doing the things you used to do, recover and return home with Taylorville Care Center's therapy program. Great medical care with private rooms. Family and friends can come by to encourage your recovery. For Taylorville Care Center's therapy program, call 824-9636, 824-9636, caring for the community for over 50 years.
The air is crisp. The nights are cooler. Fall has arrived. Even though your pool is closed for the season, you can still enjoy the outdoors. With a weather school, the best dinners are prepared on the grill. Southern Ledge Pool and Patios in Taylorville can help complement any meal. Stop in today and get 10% off all grilling items, spices, rubs, accessories, sugar-free healthy gourmet seasoning blends, and more. Whether you're grilling at home or tailgating at a game, Southern Ledge Pool and Patios in Taylorville has just what you need.
CNB Bank and Trust has been helping open doors for Central Illinois farmers since 1854. Find out why they're among Illinois' top ag lenders by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Bob Reddings of the Bob Reddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. We're sitting down with Gwen Podesky, a Master Gardener of the University of Illinois Extension. Thank you so much to our stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. That first half, we got a real educational trip through the Thanksgiving cactus, a really cool plant here, and it's right in the studio. If you still want to tune in, you can still take a peek at that, but we're moving on from that to some great programs and events for the Master Gardeners. There's one today at 2 p.m. There still might be a little bit of time to register and get out to that. But Gwen, what's happening today?
Okay, at the Extension office, Andrew's going to be presenting Garden Planning 101, getting started. So this is a great time. Your mind's probably still a little bit fresh. If you did do a vegetable garden, where your successes were, how your garden was laid out. So this may be a good chance to take a look and see what's could be improved upon for next year, new things that you might want to try. So this is a good time to get started. And then you've got plenty of time to ask for gift certificates for Christmas.
Absolutely. You got to know what you want first.
Exactly. There you go.
And we were kind of talking about some other options that are out there that you don't need to attend in person, like some webinars.
We do have one coming up November 28th at 1:30 p.m. and it's called Planning and Growing Vegetables Through the Seasons with Bruce Black, extension educator from the northwestern part of the state. It is again, he's going to be doing some things. Now, the nice thing about his program is he promises to talk about some of the newer varieties and things coming out. And if they talk about these new things, it's a little bit like Cabbage Patch Kids. They're Cabbage Patch plants. If they're new and people know about them, they're going to go fast. So this is a good idea if you want to try something new, to get, as soon as that burpee catalog comes around Christmas Eve, order from it.
Right. Okay.
Stop your Christmas Eve dinner and order from it. I'm kidding.
No, yeah.
So anyway, but those are a couple of opportunities. And you've also got an opportunity yet to do the online training. It really just the registration for the session that begins January 29th just opened November 6th. And so we're only really a week into that, and it will continue through January 10th. So if you are interested in becoming a master gardener, it's a great intensive session of education classes. You do get the manual, and you can get it in either online version or print version. There is like a $300 fee to take the training, but we do offer small scholarships through the Christian County Master Gardeners for Christian County residents who might need some help with the price for that. So at any rate, like I said, you've got a chance, and you can just go to I would just put becoming an Illinois Master Gardener or become Illinois Master Gardener, and I think it'll take you right there.
Yeah, we don't need the full perfect URL there. If you want to become a Master Gardener, become a Master Gardener.
Master Gardener training,
there you
right?
go. Yeah.
Something like that.
We've talked a little bit about becoming a Master Gardener. If you do pass your classes, what's the first responsibility you're looking at?
The first responsibility is to repay the time back. There, you've got 2 years to submit 40 hours of training. And then from then on, it's a yearly 20 hours to keep your Master Gardener status current. You've got 20 hours of volunteer work every year, which isn't a lot. And then you've also got, I believe it's either 10 hours or 12 hours of continuing education. And you can get that in a variety of ways: conferences, YouTube programs, the 4-season webinars, all of these types of things. One of my favorites actually comes out of University of Tennessee. It's called Gardening in the Mid-South. And if you can find that one on YouTube, Chris Cooper is the host of that. And he does a fantastic job. He's just far and away a great host.
Very cool. Tons of opportunities to
so there's all kinds of exactly, and you can learn things like we were talking through the break, hearing a lot of leave the leaves
What's that
information this fall, and that's fine. Leaving the leaves is better than putting them in a landfill for certain, and they do make great mulch. I would encourage you, if you are going to use them for mulch on your beds, to give them some kind of chop, whether it's with a mower and then bagging them and putting them on the beds themselves. But there are some places I would not leave the leaves. And a couple of those that I can think of right off the top of my head: please do not leave the leaves from your trees in the streets if you can at all help it. It's not safe, really. They are slick, believe it or not, and they can cause problems in sewers and gutters. So best thing to do is to pick those up. The other place to not leave the leaves would be on the lawn, unraked and unmowed, because thick layers of leaves on grass promote lawn diseases and different funguses and problems. So I would encourage you to put a mulching blade on your mower, or just raise your mower up higher and give it a good hard chop. So those are a couple of places I would not leave the leaves.
Yeah, we're not leaving the leaves.
So at any rate, and we were back when the Del Valleys were on our garden walk. She that's what they do, is they mulch up their leaves and then bag them and put them on the beds. It does make pretty decent looking mulch once it's chopped.
Sounds like you
Yeah.
know, it's a free mulch service.
It's free
in your
mulch, and believe me,
yard.
mulch is expensive.
Yeah, there you go. Gwen, we're out of time right here, but I really appreciate you coming in and get us all informed today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. That's Gwen Podesky of the University of Illinois Extension Master Gardeners. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. We thank our sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Thanks so much for listening.
Your information station, WTIM.